So in today's video, I have a Cooper S and a John Cooper Works. We're gonna do a side-by-side comparison of the two. But before I get to that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell. Now, aside from the fact that they share the same platform and the same body style, both of these cars are very different vehicles. And obviously you can see that they look very different, but it's not just the exterior appearances, it's also what's under the hood. So we're gonna get to that, but I'm gonna first start you off with the Cooper S, and then we'll get to the John Cooper Works. So this is a Solaris Orange 2020 Mini Cooper S signature trim. It has the silver wheels, it has the black mirror caps, black roof, leatherette interior in carbon black, 7-speed dual clutch transmission, a mixture of black trim accents with splashes of chrome here and there, LED headlights and fog lights. It even has a blacked out grille. This is a very good looking car. Plenty of trunk space with the height adjustable load floor. And under the hood, the B46 4-cylinder 189 horsepower turbocharged motor. Now let's turn our attention to the John Cooper Works Hardtop. As this car has been featured in several of my videos, it is starlight blue with contrasting white mirror caps and roof. It's had graphics added to it from the Baron Mini Challenge event, but it makes it look really cool. You have the 17-inch black track spoke wheels, which I really like. Lots of black trim accents. This nice red finishing rod right here, which is a really pretty detail. Some more blackout trim details as well. Both of these cars actually have blacked out trim. Plenty of trunk space as well with the height adjustable load floor. And of course the Dynamica cloth interior, which is one of my favorites. Really pretty, very nice, very stylish. Under the bonnet, we have the B48 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged motor, 228 horsepower, 236 foot-pounds of torque, versus the 189 horsepower, 207 foot-pounds of torque. Great engine, really fun. As far as mechanical bits are concerned, both cars are very different mechanically. As far as detailing is concerned, you can see below the bonnet line, everything's different. For starters, the John Cooper Works has these nice trapezoidal vents, lots of vents here and there. This is a closed up grille, but the one on the other side is actually opened. So different styling, different side skirts, and a different rear bumper with, again, more vents. In this case, these are fake. Now, I understand why they didn't leave those open. There's really nothing behind them to make them useful in any way, but the styling cues are very nice. Conversely, you come over here to the Cooper S. The styling is more rounded, less angular. It has fog lights versus the John Cooper Works, which does not. Has a black side skirt versus the body color side skirt on the John Cooper Works. And a much different, less aggressive rear bumper. These are the fog lights, assuming it would have been equipped as such. But in the US market, these are no longer available as an option. But really, from the bottom of the car up, styling-wise, they are identical. However, a different spoiler, of course. So aside from the way these two are optioned, it really comes down to how they drive. And that's what we're going to do next. Our first test subject will be this Cooper S. All right then, so I'm taking this 2020 Cooper S out for a drive, and we're gonna see how it compares to the John Cooper Works. So as far as normal driving is concerned, they drive very similar. There isn't really much difference at the moment. Where the fun comes into play is when you get onto the highway. And assuming you're not dealing with traffic, it can be incredibly fun. This is the B46 2-liter turbocharged engine mated to the 7-speed dual clutch transmission. And as far as driving dynamics are concerned, it is very smooth, very comfortable, very compliant. It drives really well. It's phenomenal. It really drives well. I'm really impressed with it. And though I would love to see it with a manual gearbox, for the time being, it's not terrible with this particular transmission. It works very well. Now, as far as shifter configuration, I have it in Sport Automatic. I have the car set to Sport mode, and therefore this basically simulates similar to what BMW has called Sport Plus. So with those things set up the way they are, and I have traction control set to dynamic traction control instead of the stability control being on, with all that stuff set up, response times are much better when it comes to putting the pedal down to the floor. What doesn't work is when you're dealing with traffic in front of you. Steering feel is really good as well. The way Minis are built, it doesn't feel like a drive-by-wire like you see with some modern cars these days. It feels really connected. You feel connected to the vehicle. You don't feel like you're just riding in it. You feel like you're part of the driving experience. So when I turn the wheel to the right, it goes there. And then passing speed, it's pretty easy to overtake a car. So that is fantastic. A small car overtaking a larger vehicle fairly quickly. The 189 horsepower, I know a lot of people think that low horsepower equates to a slower vehicle. That's not always the case. If the car is small and lightweight like the Mini is, you don't have that issue. And on top of that, the car has a lot of torque. 207 foot-pounds of torque is pretty decent when you're talking about a car that weighs about 2,700 pounds. So that is really good, actually. It makes for very quick entering highway speeds. Oh, and of course the truck's in front of me. So I can't quite go as fast as I should be able to go, but I'm gonna get past these people. And the response time is phenomenal. The response time in sport mode is phenomenal. It doesn't have as much of a lag as you would get in normal driving modes. And it's great that way. I really like it. It's very peppy, very agile, very nimble. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. And I was actually out test driving a used all-wheel drive manual 2017 Clubman today, and I'm not sure about it. I like it. I'm actually thinking of possibly buying it, but I like it. It's just I'm not sure. That's the weird thing. If it were a John Cooper Works, it would be so easy for me to go, yes, I want that car. But it's a little difficult right now with me trying to think if I really want to do that or not. But this is kind of fun, and the funny thing is with a lot of these Cooper S's, if you do an aftermarket tune on them, you can have quite a bit of horsepower out of them. That being said, the John Cooper Works is a lot more fun to drive in a way, but as far as maintenance is concerned, you have those gigantic brakes, and I think that's the only really expensive thing about that car is those big Brembos. But if that's the only thing that's wrong with it, then why worry about it? So, it's nice. I like it. I could drive this. I could own this. This is fun. I'm not quite in love with the styling a little bit. I think it needs black wheels. For that matter, I think it'd be fun if they just included track spoke as an optional wheel for these cars. I know they don't do that unless it's a John Cooper Works, but I think the track spokes would look phenomenal on a regular Cooper S. So, hey, Mini, if you're listening, why not make that an option? Or better yet, why don't you bring back the John Cooper Works appearance package for the signature trim Mini Coopers? Wouldn't be a bad thing, wouldn't it? But this is nice. So I'm going to pop it back into regular automatic. I'm going to leave the sport mode on though, as I'm now heading back onto city streets, exiting the highway. And the driving on the streets is very good as always. You saw in my video with the Clubman and the Countryman, they drive incredibly well. And that's the way most Minis are. Most Minis drive incredibly well. Now, if you noticed, I didn't use the paddle shifters. That is because, well, I didn't want to. I like the paddle shifters, but I kind of just wanted to drive it. So we're going to head back up to the dealership. I'm going to grab the John Cooper Works hardtop And we're gonna take that one back out and do the same exact thing that we did in the Cooper S. All right, so now that we've switched cars, we're gonna take the John Cooper Works Hardtop out for a spin. And already, driving dynamics are much different. I can already feel it in the butt dyno. Oh boy. So instead of the 7-speed DCT, we're dealing with the 8-speed Sport Automatic. And already, it is much different. I mean, granted, we're talking about 228 horsepower versus 189 horsepower, but it feels so much different even though the car is the same platform. They weigh about the same, but this is just awesome. So you're talking about 0 to 60 times of about 6.2 seconds, and you're talking about the ability to pass cars and overtake cars in traffic by just blipping the throttle. It is like night and day between these two cars. It is amazing. Oh, I know where my money would go with these two. And the funny thing is, you can get a signature trim John Cooper Works hardtop for the same money as an iconic trim Cooper S. And that's rather amazing. But the funny thing is, you might not be getting as much equipment, but you're getting a little bit more car. You're getting a lot more car, really. You're getting more horsepower. You're getting more torque. You're getting more, what's the word I'm looking for? Style? Pizzazz? I mean, it's a sporty vehicle. You're getting things that are just so much more fun. I have a John Cooper Works Clubman, and the acceleration time on the B48 engine is so much better than the N18. I think the 8-speed automatic actually makes the JCW hardtop a little bit better. Now, granted, I want a 6-speed manual if I were to get one. So I'm gonna get back on the highway and we're gonna sprint back to the dealership because I can. So hold on. I don't know. I think the John Cooper Works is just so much more fun to drive. Just puts a huge grin on your face. I mean, the Cooper S is great, the low-end torque is great, but I don't know. This is a hard comparison. Oh my gosh, I just think the JCW is just so much more fun. I mean, the Cooper S is great and all, but the JCW is better. It really is. So bias aside, as you can see, I had a lot more fun driving the John Cooper Works than I did with the Cooper S. Now, the reason for that is largely to do with how the performance is on the two cars. Because this car has more horsepower and more torque, the performance is more pronounced. The sensations you get in this car are more noticeable, more abrupt, more... I'm out of superlatives. But bottom line, both of them are equally fantastic cars. It's just that when you've driven so many as I have, you tend to hit one that just really ticks off all the boxes. It's one that just sets you off. It's one that just makes you want to go back out and drive it some more. And that's what you get with all of these cars, but especially with one that you just happen to love, one that just makes you feel good when you're driving it. And it doesn't matter if you want a Cooper S or a John Cooper Works, you're gonna know which Mini is right for you when you get in that car, you take it out for a drive, and it just feels right. And that's the way the car is. It has to feel right for you to truly want that car. And if it doesn't feel right, then you're just buying it because it's a car. Buy the car because it makes you feel good. Buy it because it makes you feel happy. It inspires you. It makes you want to go have a good time and be adventurous and all of those great things. And I have so many more videos on these two cars, and I'm gonna be putting up playlists at the end of this video so you guys can all go over there and join me and see just how fun these vehicles are and see my passion for these vehicles and why I do what I do despite all the negativity that sometimes comes my way because of what I do. I still continue to do it, and I'm still going to continue to do it because, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Miniac, and as always, life is too short to drive a boring car, so drive a Mini. I'll catch you all later.